So I was trained in Dresden, and I remember we flew into Berlin and we took a train about 3 hours down to Dresden, and I was with another girl who was also being trained, and we were so excited to be on this train. I'd never been on like a train in Europe, and it was like Harry Potter, and we just like had our heads out the window, like we were so excited, and we got off the train and we were just super dehydrated too. Probably hadn't drinking anything for like 24 hours. And we get off and the elders are there to greet us, and they had these two like juice packets, and I just drank mine as fast as I could, and I was so thirsty and so excited and ready to get out there and go and serve and talk with people in German. And we made it to our apartment, and my companion was like, oh, we can, do planning, stuff like that. I was like, no, let's go. I just wanted to be out there. And so we go outside to talk with people. And the German I had learned in school was the informal German, but the German you're supposed to use is very formal German. And so we go, and there's this older man who obviously he's older. I should speak with him with his formal German, but I didn't know any better. So I just started kind of using my informal German, and I was like, hey, we're here about the church, and it was really slaughtered, and he was really offended that I was talking to him in this informal German, and I didn't understand it at all, and so he just kind of like ignored us and walked away, and I was like, well, person number 2, let's go. And then my companion told me I should probably be more formal, but it was fun, and I just loved it, and I never looked back from there. I think so, but I made so much tremendous progress in the first couple of weeks. And I would use it as an excuse. We'd be on the trains and I'd say, yeah, I've only been here for 2 days or 3 days. Now I've been here for 2 weeks. And people would always be so amazed and so nice about it that I didn't feel like the language was hard, and I didn't feel like I had awful German, although looking back, it was terrible. But it's just that attitude, I guess.
I remember it was raining when I got to Germany. And I was so just like, it's raining. No. I remember the flight was exhausting. I mean, we flew to Seattle from Salt Lake, and then we flew to Amsterdam, and then we flew to Berlin. I remember it was just exhausted. It was raining, but you're so excited to get to the field. You're so excited what's going on, but it was just so much. By the time we actually got to sleep, we'd been awake for, 24 hours. And so, but it was, it was amazing getting, I remember flying into Berlin and seeing, it was raining, it was dreary, but like just seeing, you could already tell that it was different. The streets, the people, the buildings. It was a big culture shock, and you wouldn't think that would be so drastic with Germany, but it was like just lots was thrown at you, and it was fun, but it was exhausting too. Meeting my mission president, I had actually met him in the MTC. We actually went to the field together, so that was nice. It was almost like a comfort, like, oh, I'm not alone. Like even president is new to this experience, I guess. But it was all very exciting. It was all very fast paced. It was a lot of fun. It was definitely not what I expected in a lot of ways. I mean, I met my companion, and he was great, but it was definitely an adjustment. Like, mixing all of the things I had learned with how he was doing things. Not that he was doing anything wrong, but like just meshing with somebody different. The work I didn't expect. I didn't expect to be teaching like people from Cuba or from Africa or from any other country. I mean, my first study was just very diversified. So it wasn't anything of what I expected. You have no idea. And so, yeah, it was definitely a transition, seeing how people lived, the lifestyle, even, the grocery store was different. And like I said, it was a lot of fun, but it was very different. It was definitely not what I expected.
On the plane ride over, it was almost unreal because you just have this thought, I'm flying to a different country. I'm going to be landing in a different country. People speak a different language. I'm going to actually be in my mission field. And I was sitting on the bus between a guy who was from Frankfurt, Germany, who was actually living in Texas at the time and flying back to Germany to visit. And then I had someone on the other side of me that was from Frankfurt that was coming back home who had just visited something in America. And I was able to use a little bit of my German, not a whole lot of German. In the MPC, you feel like you got it, and then you got there and not quite the same. And I remember at the very end, right before I got off, we had handed out these cards for everybody to hand out because we were on the plane and, we were missionaries, little pass along cards. And at the end, right before I got off, I just turned to each of them and I said, well, I wouldn't really be a missionary if I didn't share you my testimony. And so I shared a little short testimony, gave them each a card. They were nice enough to take it. And then coming off the plane and, getting picked up and having everything work out, it was a little bit hectic. I had to be the travel leader, which I don't know why they assigned me because I didn't know anybody, but it worked out. And then we were taken on little, in German they're called Straßenbahnen. They're pretty much trolleys that go through the city. And I remember sitting with some guy that was told to come with us, and I just remember thinking, I really hope I don't serve in this city because it's huge, it's loud, there's so much going on. And luckily Heavenly Father did send me somewhere far away, but then he brought me back to the city later on. Just how little German I actually did understand, how much I thought I did. And there was still those moments though, you could still feel the Spirit when people would be when the other missionaries would be telling their testimonies in English, in German, and you could feel that even though you didn't entirely understand it.